Luke Steele.
Jill Wilbur.
Coming. Played elves.
Hello everyone.
Welcome to
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, the movies.
I've got to admit, when I received your nomination, I was quite entertained because I've never actually encountered this particular brand of insanity in the UK.
It might be something that only in America would people be this ridiculous.
So, if you could please tell us what your nomination is.
My nomination is for an element, a subculture of the anime and video game fandom referred to as Otakin.
I've never heard of this, obviously from the audience reaction, there's people who are
They're the people who think they're actually cartoon characters.
I think it's insane.
Oh, yes it is!
Oh yeah, I've got to be
Impartial. For those who aren't familiar with this, there is a subculture of individuals who have fully, completely convinced themselves that in a past life, in another dimension, they were an anime or video game character. Like they have all their memories. They have their memories. They remember the entire experience. They firmly believe and vehemently argue that all the anime and manga writers and artists actually didn't create these characters, but they just could see past the dimensional vortex and just plagiarize the world that they came from. And they got some of these stories wrong. They'd be like, you know, look, when I was Kenshin, that's not how that battle ended. Okay, I remember. And they find communities online with other people going
so what
like...
you're saying is that Shinji actually got in the robot, possibly.
I'm sure there's a forum somewhere with 4 Shinjis that all agree that happened.
They're all famous characters, aren't they?
Oh, of course they are. Of course they are. There's no NPC characters.
Well, that's the thing. In a previous life, I was the one black guy in Evangelion. You see, for 2 seconds.
It's amazing. I love that. Netflix person on the forums with like a long diatribe, like, no, I remember. I look back into my past, and when I was that baker in episode 14, Trigon, I made some good pie. But they got it wrong. The pie wasn't anywhere near as delicious in the show. That's bullshit. No, it's amazing. Like I remember hearing about it years ago, and again, like just like going into the rabbit hole of this insanity, and it's a large community that all just supports each other with rallying cries of, yeah, that's right, you go, real Goku. You show them how Akira Toriyama knew nothing. And it's amazing, and they'll dress up as the characters and post pictures of themselves, like re-embracing their spirit and really truly coming to themselves. There've been some that have legally changed their names to match the character they believe they once were. It's incredible, and should be burned from the earth.
That's the thing. After getting your nomination, I thought, you know, I'd better do some kind of research into this. And I made the dubious decision where I found a forum. Where I saw some interesting things, and...
Screenshots.
No, unfortunately no screenshots, because I don't think it would be fair to actually put real people's comments on the screen. I think the thing that I was disturbed most is the fact that they felt that their spirits were going through a transformative process. And they gave a detailed breakdown, because they assumed at some point that your spirit of whatever anime character that you were in this alternate dimension would actually take precedence in your body, and you would start going through the physical changes. And it gave a survival guide with how to cope with these physical changes. And I was reading through this, and it's like, this is puberty. That's normal. This is not you turning into whichever fucking character you've got a boner over. This is just life.
Can I just clarify a question? What happens if they're the same person? Like, do they fight? Do they become like, are they like...
I would hope so.
In the same room.
No, I would hope it would be like some Highlander shit where they go meet in a parking lot somewhere with real blades and settle it like men. That would be amazing. But no, they all get to a point where they all kind of agree, maybe they're like fractured aspects of the same spirit. Like it's a holographic universe type thing, and they all, as a unit, together, have collectively memories of the individual, and you're like,
scientists somewhere going, this is why I invented quantum theory.
That's why they're gonna have a TED Talk next year where someone like breaks the mold on Otakin and realizes, no, this is true. Like, go to like the whole string theory turnabout and be like, wait, Faye? What? It's just so utterly frightening.
So I have to ask though, a bit being in the end, have you ever bumped into someone who has had the soul of a character you voiced?
I have once, or they didn't say specifically they had the soul, but they came up to me. This was shortly after the Thundercats aired, and they came up to me at a convention and said, "Thank you so much for finally putting this story out for the rest of the world to enjoy, to know the trials and tribulations of when I was lying out." This was at ThunderCon down in Southern California, and it was just one of those things where they said this, and I didn't look through them. I looked back into my life, and all the things I'd done as a child, and then growing into a young adult, and the friendships I made, and the relationships that I went through, and the experiences I had as a human being, all the way up to this moment, and thought, this is the culmination? Then it came the 2 months of crippling depression and alcoholism, but you know. But yeah, no, one of them actually came out into the open, into the physical world, and decided to share with me how important it was that I was telling the story of their brother so strongly.
I'm trying to keep a straight face, but this is impossible. So, in the interest of counter-argument,
Can't these people just be happy on their own? Like, as long as you don't have to hear about it personally, why do you care?
Well, not even that, I suppose. As long as they're not, hurting anyone, is there anything really so wrong with it?
Yeah, whatever helps you wake up in the morning.
Whatever helps you get through the day. It's like, I go into work, I work in this telesales call centre, I hate my life, but I know, deep down, I am Goku. Well, yeah, on the phone there, you've got a problem with your electric bill. All the power you need right here. Sorry, great, continue.
To answer your question, no. It is not okay to not be left alone. Well, no, I mean, and I understand, if someone really needs, if it's a confidence boost that they use to continue with their life, then that's fine. Many people draw inspiration from various historical, mythological figures, individuals in entertainment that they themselves connect to and enjoy, and they look up to those people. But then to say that you are that person, and that the people that created that character are fucking wrong, and that you're right, you and the 5 others of you are the only right ones?
They didn't create the character, they're just seeing it through the lens of reality.
Exactly. Yeah. And as long as you use that inspiration to do something good to society, yes. But for the most part, I can just tell they only go on this forum. That's all they do.
So you're saying it might be a bit more acceptable if they were using their anime skills to enrich the world?
Good.
Essentially, yeah. If they went out like Kenshin would and helped old ladies across the street, or helped advance the field of microbiology, or I don't know, something like that, maybe it'd be a little weird, but you go.
If aliens ever invade Earth, there'll be one guy coming forward going, I'm Shinji.
No, he won't. He'll run away.
Do you want to open this up to the audience?
Let's get some audience impressions on this one.
Alright, no first.
Alright,
So I want to know what happens if they think they're a character and the series is still ongoing. And then something after comes out, do they always say, oh, everything must be wrong from this point onwards? Or their character's revealed to be the traitor? I want to watch that moment.
That's not so much a question as a wet dream of a week of Chloe over there.
What if the character's actually dead in the series?
Then that's when their spirit crossed over to this realm to remember.
I to
That
say
raises an
God.
interesting question, with Goku especially, because he keeps coming back. How the hell did they like rationalize that one?
I wonder if someone's like Phase 1 Goku or like Season 3 Goku, you know? They'll have a Goku party somewhere and apologize to each other.
All these Gokus just standing around going, so, yeah, that was a bit shit, wasn't it? King Kai, massive douche.
Afterwards, like a bang at the door, like, I don't open it outside.
We've got a very insistent hand. Oh, first this one, then we'll get to you, sir.
Does this include the people who also marry video game characters and anime characters?
It's different, but I'll put it as an addendum to it.
Also, while we're talking about this, I feel it is necessary for you to tell the story of your old Italian stalker when you were Sephiroth back in the day.
Were you actually Sephiroth? He doesn't look happy.
There's some points where you're excited that you brought your girlfriend to a convention. No, I'll try and keep this short because this is a long story. But no, I had an appreciator in New Jersey.
I've heard that
Los
term
Angeles,
before.
yeah, who contacted me to work on a short film. They wrote a short film and it was great, and they wanted to cast me in it. They were familiar with my work, and they left me an email with a phone number to call, and I was like, all right, sure. I gave them a call, asked what the project was about, and immediately she told me, well, it's a fan film. It's a Final Fantasy VII fan film. I wrote it. I would love for you to play Sephiroth, but you know, it's about like his previous history and his love story with this character named Ricky, and like, you know, I hope you're comfortable with like, you know, there's a lot of pretty passionate love scenes in it. I hope you're okay with that. And like,
did you turn up and it was like a hotel room?
This is all telephone. And at this point, I'm like, well, I can only do it if it's union, and I didn't know who's directing it, and I'm basically trying to find out all these little outs without being an immediate dick about it. And I was like, and have you done any other casting? Who's playing this other female? And she's like, oh, well, I'm playing her. But you know, my husband's fine. He doesn't know. So I just and I'm like, okay, cool. All right. Well, I gotta go. Bye. And then she sent me an email afterward with like, you know, copy the script of her fan fiction and asking me, you know, hey, it's really cool. I'd love for you to you know, to take this over and here's some pictures of me. You know, hope you like it, Winky. And like, oh God. I responded with, once again, if you could send me information about the producers and the director and how legitimate production this is, what your budget is, if you're doing union or not, that'd be great. Also, the photos you sent were ... interesting. To which her immediate response was, interesting, huh? Where's more where that came from? Nudes. Just straight up nudes. But they were all nudes from like 1984. Like you can tell from the decor in the household and the furniture she had and electronics, like this couldn't have been much past the era of the VHS. Like it was amazing. And from there on it was match made in heaven. No.
So you're saying you didn't go?
I did not. I decided it was probably against my better interest in, you know, surviving the rest of my lifespan than to be worn by somebody else's skin. So,
fair enough.
There you go.
Okay, we've got a question from the gentleman at the back there.
There you go. Did that pack some work?
Come on, go for more energy. You're only given feelings of self-worth. I want to see you do a backflip.
Now I'm picking your email.
Barrel roll.
I just really want to say that it needs to go in room 101. This isn't as nice as, like, you know, that story. Jesus Christ. But I'm into Homestuck, and there's someone notorious. There's someone absolutely notorious in our